All right, it's Sunday. What is today? And just to tell you where we're at, the 19th. I'm behind on getting video. I haven't put a video. I haven't even started working on the videos from the last 2 days, which you guys will have seen those by the point you see this. But I'm behind on videos. I'm behind on answering comments. I'm behind on everything. But haven't been getting back to the house till late. By the time you get done doing what you got to do and moving equipment and all that. But came to get the tea fired up, and a bird had saw fit to build a nest on top of the air cleaners under the hood, so I had to pull the side panel off and dig all that out and blow it out with a leaf blower so we didn't have a fire. And I got I got starter transferred out of the bulk tank into the nurse tank. I probably could have just had him fill the nurse tank, but I wanted to test the system, so I had him fill the bulk tank. There is one thing this has. I'm not necessarily a fan of it, but it is what it is. This has, if I can get this lid off, it's got that pickup tube, and it's kind of got, in the end of it, it's kind of got like a bird's mouth cut. And it doesn't really, obviously, as you can see, there's still fertilizer in the bottom. It doesn't really suck the bottom of the tank dry. So I think I'm gonna need, long run, need to figure out how to get that out of there and saw the bird's mouth off and just cut it flat so you can get it right down on the bottom of the tank, maybe. So, I mean, I bet there's 30-40 gallon of fertilizer left in there yet. I don't know, maybe it ain't worth screwing with. I mean, I guess it's no different than if the bung was just lower, you'd still be that far off the bottom of the tank. So I guess it's no different than if it was just so I don't know. And naturally the pump motor had some water in the carb, so it took me a minute to get that thing sorted out. And I think it might have sucked something into the carb, because it sounds like it's running kind of tight, and you adjust the high idle screw and it doesn't really make a difference. I think it sucked something into the carb, but it runs fine without the choke, or it runs without choke and everything, so we'll screw with that at a later date. But anyhow, we can get this thing unfolded so that we can fill it. Hopefully, it was just running 10 minutes ago to fill the tank, so I need to start throwing it. I need to remember to start throwing a bucket over this thing. Watch, now it's not gonna want to start. That's never happened before. It must have blew the antifreeze out of it because it's so light. There we go. When I winterize this thing, I fill it full of RV antifreeze, because it cleans the system out. It's got a rust or a corrosion inhibitor in it, and it keeps anything from freezing if by chance it gets some water in it, but it shouldn't. It sits inside. Okay, we got fertilizer. Now we're starting at that little field down there, which is 2177, which is a 9-day, or not a 9-day, that'd be a really short corn, a 98-day corn. And I was planning on putting this on Grandma and Grandpa's field down there and that field. However, Grandma and Grandpa's field's not ready. It's still got water standing in it. Ideally you'd want to plant them both on the same day so you don't got to worry about cleaning the planter out, but because that's only 2 1/4 acres down there roughly, one bag should do it. And if I can get one bag out of it, then I won't clean the planter out. I'll just keep planting on whatever's left. So I'm gonna try my best to split this one bag between all 8 boxes, and that way hopefully I don't gotta clean the planter out. All right, in theory, we're ready. Oh wait, I just noticed. I probably ought to tape those since they don't have the lock nuts on them. I don't want them pulling apart on me. Okay, I got those taped up. I don't even think for a 1/4 mile down the road that I gotta go, I'm even gonna bother folding up. Although I do need to. See you down at the field. All right, turn that on so it can do its thing. The only thing that, yeah, shut up. The only thing that sucks is the sun glare. You cannot see that screen. Let it do its thing for a minute. Moving this thing down the road a little bit. Unfolded isn't bad, but I wouldn't want to do it. And there's a guy out here, well, he's since passed away. I don't know if his son's still using the planter or not, but there was a guy out here north of town, had an 8-row rigid John Deere 7000 that he moved down the road, and it's like, I don't know how you do it. Because an 8-row planter doesn't look like much in the field, but you get it unfolded on the road, that's a lot of planter. I need to make another pin for this side that had some janky aluminum soft bar in it that bent, and I couldn't. It was just wasn't right. And we got GPS, so we're good there. I never did get a chance to call and ask any questions about making that work with the monitor. I'm hoping it's just as simple as it plugs it in and it recognizes it, but otherwise things will be interesting. Here's your speed pickup, and I thought that you might have to unplug that, but if you unplug that, then the monitor doesn't know when the planter's lifted and lowered, because it's not only is that your speed pickup, it's also your pickup because it's on the opposite side of the, or it's on the driven side of the clutch, or the yeah, the driven side, or the output side of the clutch, that also tells the monitor when the clutch disengages and the planter stops, so that it's not sitting there bitching at you saying it's not planting when you're moving. So you can't really unhook it. So I guess we're gonna find out. It's gonna be interesting. First day of planting corn. Okay, we got some pressure, fans running. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and get rolling. I got enough going on here. I don't want to have to worry about taking video on top of it. So I'm gonna get rolling, and once I get everything going, then we'll be back. It's gonna make my life easier. I apologize. All right, we're back at the farm. That 2 acres is done. It went fairly uneventful, actually. First 2 acres, need to pay attention to what's going on. It was just so much easier for me to just do it rather than trying to take video. Apparently all you got to do on that monitor is plug the GPS in and it recognizes it, because you turn the speed setting on the monitor and it basically matched within a tenth or so of the display on the actual readout itself. So it's picking up speed off of the GPS like it's supposed to. It was counting population, everything was counting right, except for some damn reason it wasn't counting acres. It was counting population, spacing, acres an hour, average. It was counting everything except acres. So when I got done planting down there, I hopped on the old Googles for a minute, and I found several posts with guys having the exact same problem. It was counting everything, including acres an hour. It just wasn't counting acres, and everything said kill the power to it for a while and let it reset itself. So hopefully that works. So now we need to, how much we got left in here? Shouldn't be a whole lot. I never ran out of seed, so the one thing that I do want to do is we are taking a pretty big jump down in seed size. And they're flats. I forgot to tell Brian when I ordered my seed that I prefer rounds, because rounds work better in these planters. They'll run flats. I planted a bunch of flats last year and it worked just fine, but rounds work better. So I got to remember next year to tell him. But these were these were rounds. But we're taking a big jump. We're going from 60.5 pounds to 39.5 pounds. So I want to pull a plate out real quick and make sure that seed still fits in there okay before I go filling the entire box. So give me a minute here, because if they don't fit, I'll have to go home and see if I have smaller plates. I'm pretty sure I do. All right, so I ended up spilling a little bit of seed by accident, but we'll grab a couple of these for example. So we got that seed there, and then these seeds here, and you see how you would have to try really hard to fit 2 in that cell and get a double. And this one right here would probably very easily fit a double. So I'm gonna go home and see, which for medium flats, these are awful round seed. So I think they'll plant fine. I'm just gonna need to get some smaller plates, which I'm pretty sure I got them. So let me make a run and go see what I got, because I got all the plates at my house. All right, so it turns out I do not have smaller seed plates. I got two that are bigger. One of them I don't even know what the heck you'd plant with it. The cells under there, like you could put marbles on them. So we're just gonna put seed in, hope for the best. Dad's taking off to go roll beans, so yeah, I think I'll have I gotta run my truck and there's tank over to the field. I'm gonna have Mom bring me back, that way my truck's over there in case I need anything. I'll fill the planter up once I'm over there, that way I'm not running down the road fully loaded. Yeah, I think we're good. Hopefully we're good. Should be good. As long as the monitor starts counting acres for me. Everything else works, it's just not counting acres. It's kind of dumb. All right, we're here. Planter's loaded. I reset all my presets since we lost power. So hopefully it starts counting acres for me. We'll start on the small side first. that's done. Still no luck getting the acre counter to work, but I've run for years without an acre counter on a planter, so we'll just go with it. So there's plenty of starter in there. I put 8 bags in, so that should damn near plant this field and the next one we're going to. I might have to top it off a little bit, but if need be, we'll do it there, because I don't want to end up with a bunch of seed in the planter when I'm done today. Just because I don't know which hybrid I go to next. Is going to depend on what ground comes dry first. So with that being said, all I gotta do is roll my hose up and we'll go get working on the other field and at least get the end rows and stuff on it, so I got a place to park the truck and trailer, truck and wagon. Then I can have Shelly come back and bring me to get there. Shelly come get me to bring me to get the truck. So I gotta decide exactly how I'm gonna handle this, because this wet spot here was still standing full of water, and I doubt it's doing any better than it was when I was out here working it, and it is not. But it looks like I got enough room to get 16 rows here, and then here I can just plant up to it and go around it and do whatever I need to do. And then this field is also going to get, the first few years that I farmed this field, I had to leave a waterway up here in this swale. And it's only been about the last 4 years where the springs have been dry enough that I've been able to farm through it. So this year it's going to get farmed again like I used to do it, although the waterway is going to be a lot shorter. I used to have to come clear out into here. But I am going to put end rows there to make life easier. So, but other than that, this field should plant pretty good. It felt a little wet. I've worked in the dark, so I was doing a lot of stuff by braille as far as feeling what it looked like, but it seems to have dried down pretty good. So done. Shelly just took off with my pickup. I got enough seed and fertilizer in the planter. I hopefully should be able to do the last field I got to do, so let's go get that done. All right, so this is the field that when I was working it, when I got done, I was like, I don't know. But it did dry down pretty darn good. The only spot we're gonna have trouble is where the spring comes out of the hillside right here. But it's one of them things, and it did not dry up a lick since I cracked it open yesterday. But it comes out right here, right here. It just bubbles right up out of the ground. This is also the spot where all the beans got drowned out last summer too. So it's one of them deals. The ground will pretty much go now. Do you plant it now, or do you wait for that spring to dry up? Maybe not, which that one never really dries up. It just gets smaller. So I'll just plant around it and we'll call her square. That's everything planted that was fit. This planted a lot better than I thought it would. I'm gonna say, when I was working it yesterday, it was like, it's too late. I already started now. Unless it was only 2 acres and I really wanted to get it done and knocked out and out of the way. I only planted around, I pulled up to it here, backed around the other side, and it was basically 8 rows wide, and I got to this spot and it was kind of skinny, so I was like, screw it, I'm not doing that. So I pulled through it. Probably should have just picked up and went over it, but I will. Nothing plugged on the planter, so we'll take it. So with that being said, run this thing home. If I keep this up, I'll have a full set of horseshoes. Seems like I found another 1 or 2 out here at some point too. Anyway, run this thing home. If nothing else, I got a couple bags of seed in my truck that got to go back to Mom and Dad's and get thrown back on the pallet for now. And we'll look at the field behind Mom and Dad's house and see if they can get the soil finisher run over it yet today. All right, this field's dry enough to work, so we're gonna do that. I went and checked another one up the other side of town. Most of it would go, but there's a spring that would really, it's not easy to work around. It's so close. I'm half tempted, if I got enough daylight when I get down here, to drop the finisher, hook the disc on the 4150, go down, run the disc over it, bust it open, let it dry out, and then run the finisher over it tomorrow. I wish I had a front wheel assist, that way I didn't always have to rely on, or a second four-wheel drive. I could use either one, just so you didn't have to switch tools all the time, because there's a lot of stuff I should be using it would make life easier, I'll put it that way, for when you need to go do a little bit of tillage or something and you don't necessarily need that. but that's all I got that'll pull through a wet spot with a disc behind it. So, and unfortunately Dad only got a few acres of beans rolled, and a bearing blew out on the color mulcher. So tomorrow after work, they're just they're a pretty standard disc bearing. Last time we had one go out, we just got it from John Deere. So I will have to try the old green mark tomorrow after work and see if they got them. We're just gonna do all 6 that are, we did one gang. Last time we had a bearing go out, so this time we're just gonna go ahead and do the other 3, which it seems like with color mulchers they don't matter about, especially if they sit outside like that one. About every 5 years you just better plan on putting bearings in it if you use it, because color mulchers eat bearings. So anyhow, let's get after it. fit. Needs to dry out some, then it'll be ready to plant. I am not gonna go screw with the wet spot at that other field. I don't know. I don't want to work too far ahead and then end up having it rain on me, and then have that disc down, have it get rained on, and then once you got the soil consolidated like behind a disc, then all of a sudden it gets rained on, and it's going to be that much harder to get it to dry back out. So I don't know, it's probably the wrong call, but I'm just going to let it sit. Yeah. Yeah. So, with that being said, I'm going to lock the finisher up and probably call it a day. So, hopefully tomorrow I can get bearings and we can get the color mulcher fixed so we can get back to rolling beans. Hopefully Dad can get some beans rolled before this next rain. Honestly, if this next rain didn't show up, because they're calling for thunderstorms Wednesday, but it's only a 40% chance. So if Wednesday wasn't there, we're good until Saturday. And then Saturday, Sunday, Monday are chances. But with these winds we've been getting and the height, it's been pushing 80 degrees all weekend. With these winds we've been getting and the temperatures and the sunshine, that's all we needed, and these wet spots are drying up. We just don't need any more rain right now to undo all the drying. I mean, if we got like a 1/4 inch, it wouldn't hurt nothing. And it'd get the stuff going that's in the ground. We could get a 1/4 inch. I wouldn't complain about that. But we don't need to be getting no 3/4, 1 inch, 1.5 inch rains like we've been getting. We need to be getting none of that. So, but anyhow, that being said, that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.